Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage stars in Season of the Witch, the story of a hero of the Crusades in the Middle East who comes back to England and finds that there is a witch. The older and dying king, or pope, someone in authority asks Mr. Cage to dispose of this witch in a very specific fashion, delivering her to a mountain or other destination very far away. Ron Perlman is there to help Mr. Cage, which is good. The woman is a witch, as is demonstrated in the trailer. If there was any suspension of disbelief that perhaps her powers are fabricated, that is not true. She has powers. And while Mr. Cage is fully aware that she is a witch, he also apparently has the hots for her, and so doesn't just kill her. The witch helps them, Ron Perlman and Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage, as they defeat wolves and flying demons, crawling demons, assassins, people of different religions, and everyone else who seems to stand between Mr. Cage and bring this poor girl to her Mount Doom equivalent. The fifth in the series of Too Fast, Too Furious films, this story begins with a group of drug dealers in a drug factory who are then assumably robbed by other criminals, but they're not there to rob them. They actually burn all the money, because apparently they hate drug dealers. The car men, including Vin Diesel and the blonde, are doing something illegal, probably car-related. Now, for a lot of the audience, they can't really tell Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson The Rock apart. People who don't watch action films, they're both in this film. Luckily, The Rock, as you probably know him as, has a goatee. So in case you're confused which one you're watching, The Rock, who is playing the John Hamm role from The Town, in that he is a cop, some kind of federal agent who plays by his own rules, is going to stop these seemingly philanthropic criminals in car-related stunts. There is a great deal of gunfire and explosions. There are a lot of car chases in the underground, extremely glamorized version of underground car racing, assumably with gambling and money at stake. At the end, an entire bank safe is taken out of the bank by two cars that drag it across the street. The trailer ends with what is assumably the death of innocent people. In Take Me Home Tonight, Topher Grace plays a character who has graduated from college, assumably, and is working at a video store, directionless in life, in 1988. The film is highly 80s themed, particularly in the choices of music, hairstyles, and clothing, all of which are overdone with the hopes of catching 80s nostalgia. Topher is friends with the larger set man from that ping-pong comedy with Christopher Walken as the villain, whose name I cannot remember. He seems large and very fun-loving in this film as Topher learns how to finally talk to his high school sweetheart and not only admit that he is in fact lying about who he is in order to get to the party. He must be honest about his identity and his feelings for her. Topher Grace, I'm sure, will learn to do something with his life and be happy. Every once in a while, romantic comedy gets filmed. In Waiting for Forever, a large Macaulay Culkin man-child goes to his childhood sweetheart. Though both in their early 20s, the boy and girl are old at heart, as they were childhood friends in sepia-toned, scratchier pasts. The girl is engaged to marry a man who appears to be a veteran of foreign wars, or perhaps is just tall with short hair. This strange man, the older boy, really, loves this woman, both of whom are confused by their own emotions due to their youth, anxiety, and poor direction. Undoubtedly, someone will be happy with someone else. The parents, what little we see of them, are usually sitting on porches or dying in beds. There's a train crash at one point, confusing as it is in the rest of the trailer. Great deal of soft tone music appropriate for women 16 to 19 years old, who will in fact be the only ones going to see this film. That and lonely middle-aged widows. This film starts off with the 1969 Apollo landing at the moon, the first landing on the moon. The signal from the spaceship is broken off, with Walter Cronkite explaining this historic event, as we see stock footage of the 1960s to give this shot context and relevance. The two early astronauts then climb over a ridge on the moon to find a much larger and elaborate crashed spaceship. Like in Planet of the Apes, we find out that there is a history here the whole time. The history is Transformers. It's the third Transformers film. Didn't see that coming in the theater. While the astronauts have a window, turns out, of 20 minutes to find samples and pictures of these robots. They do this assumably in secret until they come back. As the astronauts leave, one of the robots suspiciously awakens, and as the camera starts to zoom into the moving mechanics of his now awakened eye, the mechanics transform into the opening title of Transformers: Dark of the Moon, which could be either a place or a thing. Dark of the Moon is used because, assumably, Dark Side of the Moon is taken, which is in fact where they were. The Transformers film will come out this summer, like they all have. I Am Number 4 is the story of a young blonde man who pretends to be in high school to hide. He is the fourth of 9 people who escaped from something in the woods. He is an alien. Bad aliens want to kill him. He has powers that older, more experienced aliens, 5 through 9 of the list, are showing him how to use. Number 4 needs to be careful because the other 3 got killed, and he's next. The bad aliens, who want to kill him, kind of look like the Romulans in the new Star Trek. We don't get a very good look at them, but the boy, as he, in a most Clark Kent fashion, discovers his powers in central US of A, learns that he's not alone, and that the aliens are better when they work with each other. The boy's hands glow. Beyond that, he looks just like us. Maybe he's a big squid or something at the end. We'll find out.